Hey folks, David Stewart here. Everything is fake. You know what's not fake is this book, King Leper. It's out July 24th. Physical. They will come out at the same time. You can't pre-order them on Amazon because they don't do that, but you can pre-order the ebook. The physicals will be the same, but they will be blue instead of this green, a nice royal blue for King Leper in paperback and hardback. It's a nice, thick book. You will be getting quite a lot of story for your money. I'm calling it Poul Anderson meets George R.R. Martin. It's really more in a classic fantasy mode, but I think you'll like it. There's definitely some fun political intrigue that goes on here. A lot of enjoyment, I think, to be had with this book, so please do check it out. Now, the internet is fake. Everything's fake. I think fakeness actually goes back way before the internet, which is a whole another long video that I could probably make about how everything in the corporate period was pretty fake as well. But the internet is fake, and it has become fake where it used to be this bastion of real things and real people putting real things out for other real people to read. Now it's a whole lot of feedback loops of fakeness. And I can give many, many examples of how this is, but it used to be like 10 years ago, the internet was really useful because you could search on a search engine, find websites that were like dedicated to topics and read about those topics and make a judgment. Now people type into a search engine, they get an AI, they get like an AI summary that I don't know if you want to trust that or not. And then if they want to go further than that, they may find a bunch of AI written websites. So there's no human, it's like an AI summarizing the articles written by other AIs. A really good example that tech reviewers have talked about on YouTube, where people are still people and I'm not AI generated, at least not yet, is you used to be able to like find a consumer electronics product and like type it in and read a review from a person. Maybe there'd be a website like dedicated to webcams, for example. This is a webcam I don't recommend you buy it. The Razer Q Pro, I can do a negative video some other time. Anyway, don't buy it. Don't buy it. Major driver issues. Anyway, you type this in, Razer Q Pro, and then you would find a review and someone would tell you, oh yeah, I was blue screening my computer and it's the only piece of hardware that's ever done that. You'd be like, oh, well, I won't buy that. But what you get now is a bunch of listicles, like list articles that have best webcams 2025, including the Razer Q Pro. They have like thousands of keywords clicked in, AI generated SEO, search engine optimization, all the way through the listicle. And all it is convincing you to buy products. It's this product is great. The next product is great. The next product is great. Every product is great. Here's an affiliate link. Click it, buy it. We'll farm revenue without humans ever having to even type words in. The only words that the human types in is write a listicle that compares the 10 best-selling webcams and has a link, and I'll generate affiliate links from that. So it takes like a few minutes of work, and then you've got a little list article, and you do that for like every product on the internet. So you'll find pages of this stuff as an example. So it used to be you go to the internet and be like, what does a human being think about this product? And I can find results for that. Now it's all search engine optimized listicles there to sell you something and not give you any kind of honest feedback. So that's one example of what's going on there. It's that huge amounts of AI written articles have basically flushed all the real information down the toilet. Meanwhile, sites that used to be kind of niche and dedicated to certain things like digital cameras, they no longer show up on the search results and are pushed out by these AI things. So people can't find what they want on the internet. The internet, the search engine stops being useful for finding like niche information, however you want to say it. There's another problem, which is bots and paid reviews. So let's talk about bots first. You will find very quickly that most of the big accounts on Twitter are and were completely AstroTurf fake. They didn't have real followers. Nothing about them was real. They bought likes, they bought followers, and all of those followers that they bought were like Chinese bots that just follow whatever account gets paid pays their company to have their bot farm go and follow them. And the way that we could tell this is that you would have these big, quote, big accounts of major journalists or someone getting completely ratioed. They have 500,000 followers. They get completely ratioed by frog accounts that have 1,500 followers. How did that happen? Well, the frog account has 1,500 real people using Twitter every day. And so when he quote tweets someone to dunk on him, his followers are liking that and reposting it. They are engaging with it because they're real. Whereas the followers for the big name journalist aren't real, right? They're fake. They don't really use the site. They're part of a paid bot farm. This was an issue when Elon Musk bought Twitter, is that they estimated some 30% of the users were fake. They weren't real people actually using the service. So that becomes a real problem. Sort of, right? And one of the ways that you could tell with this is that you'll have people that they'll tweet something out and the engagement is like zero, They get 1 like or 0 likes, and yet they have 100,000 followers. Well, those followers aren't real. Now, in a lot of cases, it's accounts that follow each other, botted accounts, automated accounts. I have talked about this with authors, right? Authors would do this a lot. Is they would try to build up, they'd imagine they're getting a free advertising network on Twitter by following other authors. Like, we're all going to retweet each other, right? We're all going to like and retweet each other. Okay, so the people who are going to, let's say that works. Like, you're all completely honest, you're on board with this idea. Well, the only people that are going to see those likes and those retweets are other authors, and they're trying to sell books. They're not trying to buy random indie books. So you never sell anything that way. It's just a terrible strategy. People are still doing it in 2025, but it was the big thing to do in the 2010s. This idea, like, you could advertise for free on Twitter by we'll all just follow each other. A lot of people, of course, tragedy of the commons, they figure out, okay, authors do this. So they will go through and they'll have a bot, they'll automate their account so that it follows every account that has the word author in the bio. And I get followed and unfollowed frequently by the same accounts. Book Taster Authors, Book Taster Reviews. These are big accounts that all they do is follow authors and see if they'll follow back. And if they follow you back, they send you a DM telling you about their service. And their advertising service is, we have 125,000 followers, or they actually give you the total across all 4 of their accounts, because they'll just do 4, 5, 6 accounts that do the same thing. We have a total of 8 million followers. Now, that's actually 1 million followers on 8 accounts, the same 1 million, right? So it's actually not 8 million followers. It's 1 million or whatever it is. They say they have 800,000. It'll actually be 100,000. And those 100,000 are all other authors, people who followed back. They have no engagement. And the way that you could tell is you go over to Book Taster Authors, and that's an actual account. You can just go look it up on Twitter, see what their tweets do in terms of engagement for their followers. So the ratio of the followers to the engagement will be incredibly low. They'll have 100,000 followers following 100,000. So even, and one of the ways you could tell an account is fake and gay is like, it's 100,000 followers and 100,000 following. It's even, and it's a huge number. You can't engage with 100,000 people. It's just impossible to engage with 100,000 people. So they don't engage with any of them. In fact, they're probably all on mute. So when they look at their feed, it's empty because every single account that they follow, as soon as they follow it, it's muted. So that if the person is operating the account, they don't have to see the noise of 100,000 accounts that they follow. So it's impossible to engage with 100,000 accounts or care about what 100,000 accounts are doing. It doesn't exist. So it's to sell a service. You pay us money and we'll tweet the link to your book out to all of these people, and it's cheap advertising. But none of those people are real. None of them click on it. There's no engagement for the post. There's nothing there. It's just a way to extract money from naive authors who don't understand how the system works. They don't understand that everything is fake, okay? So they're very fake. There's a ton of fake followers on Twitter. You can even buy likes. You can buy likes on posts, and people have been able to figure out, okay, I'm pretty sure you're buying likes because of this. Every like that you have is from an account that doesn't follow you. You bought those likes. There's not 50,000 random people that liked this tweet. That's 50,000 Chinese bots that you paid to like your tweet. You bought the likes for like a penny a piece or something. So people are flushing money down the toilet to get these fake likes and this fake engagement, hoping that it will trick the robot into promoting their tweet. But the robot, because the robot is engaging with lots of people, it'll be like, well, 50,000 bots liked it. That doesn't mean Joe over here will like it because he's never engaged with your post before. So they're paying, hoping that the robot will see that there's 50,000 likes and go, oh, there's 50,000 likes, I will show it to more people. But the robot doesn't act that way. The algorithm does not do that. It's more individual with how these things operate. So that's completely fake, right? It doesn't work. I'm just letting you know that. I'll give you another example, which was an author. I even did content with this author. I'm trying to remember his name right now. He was a Danish guy. And we did like a video on like map making or something on YouTube. And his whole idea was, I'm going to build up all of this content, and then I'm just going to like repeat the content while I sit back, and it just like generates book sales for me. What he did was he would follow every author, and then at an unspecified point in time, he would unfollow everyone. Like his automated whatever software he used to automate his account, it would just unfollow everyone. So it gets sort of that even follower problem where there's 100,000 followers and 100,000 following. Now he has 100,000 followers and he's following 50 people, right? But you just look at the post engagement: 2 likes, 3 likes, 4 likes, and 1 retweet. Those aren't real people. Okay. Those are somehow in the author thing. And so I found this out as like, oh, I happened to see him post something, and I'm like, why do I follow this person? Like, oh yeah, I made like a piece of content with him and he unfollowed me later, because that's what the automated software does. That's how you're trying to game the system, is like you're trying to please the robot by showing that you are important by having lots of followers and not following anyone. Does it work? Well, it actually doesn't work. So just to let you know, if you ever get someone's ever trying to sell you a service like, well, you can buy followers, don't fall for the fakeness. Okay. Don't fall for it. Okay. You're not more important because you buy followers. You're not going to please the almighty robot by buying followers and buying likes. The other one is fake reviews. I've mentioned this before, right? Years ago, a lot of indie authors giving out good advice would say you need so many reviews. You need like 10 reviews, okay, before you start advertising. It's like, well, how do you get 10 reviews before you start advertising? They're like, you need 10 reviews before you start advertising when spending money, right? And they kind of wink at you because they're not going to say out loud, well, what I did was I bought 20 reviews from some scammers, and that was the social, and they were all 5-star. I bought 20 5-star reviews, or maybe you make them a little more realistic. 15 5-star reviews, 5 4-star reviews, whatever it is. Right? I bought a bunch of 5-star reviews so that the social proof for the sale would already be there on day one. So if you're wondering, how did this author I've never heard of get 20 reviews on the day he released the book? The answer is he probably bought them. So he paid to get the reviews on Amazon, and that might include purchasing an ebook. So the fake review company or whatever that does it, you give them extra money, they'll buy the product. So it says like verified purchase. So the first day, verified purchase and 5 stars. How do you read a book in the first day unless it's like, I don't know, like a short story? You're probably not doing that. Okay. So that's one of the ways that you know that it's fake, but they want to get that orange tag, right? Which is, okay, I'm going to drop $1,000 on advertising. I'm going to have my social proof already there. I have my great cover. People click the cover. They see that it's got 5-star reviews and there's enough reviews that they believe that people have read it, and then they buy the book. And if I can sell 4 copies in this little fake category, like blank books or Star Wars novels, if I could sell 4 copies on day one, I'll get an orange tag that says #1 new release. Okay. And then I could say I'm a best-selling author on Amazon. It's not that hard to buy a bestseller badge on Amazon. It's really not. And I'm telling you how to do it, but I'm not going to tell you who to contact to do it, because it's dishonest and you shouldn't do it. And you should be okay living your authentic life as yourself and finding a true audience of real people and not trying to fake it till you make it, because the truth is the fakeness doesn't really work that well. It may work kind of okay on Amazon, but you are going to pay a steep price in order to buy those first customers. You're buying customers. The customers are the most expensive thing. So if you can get 100 people to read your book and become fans of yours, then maybe the investment of $5,000 or $10,000 is worth it to you. You have to kind of decide that on your own. But a lot of the reviews are fake. If you look at all of these products on Amazon, these Chinese products that are cheap, that are coming over from AliExpress or something like that, go look at them. What do they have in common? They have a bunch of really short reviews, nondescript reviews. You'll see this on the books too, but it's all fake, right? So can you really trust those reviews? This is why I go immediately to 1-star reviews, because they will reveal whatever potential problem exists in that product that's there on Amazon. Now, it used to be the reviews that's social proof. So whenever we're making a sale, we talk about like there's an attractive image, like a book cover or great box art or something. And then there's a description of what that is. You have deeper information that the consumer seeks out after you've gotten their attention with a fancy graphic. And then the social proof is part of the sale. The social proof is other people like this. Other people have seen that it's good and useful, so I will go ahead and buy it. And so once you've gotten through that, you're basically lowering they have like walls between you and making a sale. You're trying to lower those walls. You're trying to reduce their inhibitions so that they'll buy something that they actually want. If you're doing it ethically, they're buying a thing that they actually want. But is it ethical to fake the reviews? It's fake social proof. Oh, other people like this. No one else likes this. It's a bunch of fake reviews. It's all robots, right? And so then you buy the thing and it sucks. And you're like, I guess all these people are stupid. No, they're not stupid. They're not real. They're not even human beings. That's what I'm getting at here. Now, the next stage of fakeness is AI. We've been talking about AI. AI has the potential to make content fake, as well as likes. And you find out that, like, even with YouTube, one of the things that people loved about YouTube is the robot, what I call the robot, the algorithm, because it's like, well, this is fair and it will show I can have success here without needing gatekeepers. And it turns out a lot of the stuff that's popular on YouTube was astroturfed. It was selected by people who worked at YouTube to be put on the main page so that it would be successful. It was selected to be successful. So there were still fingers very much on the scale, and the robot was kind of working for the rest of the plebs a little bit, right? Otherwise, the site probably just wouldn't be popular at all if there wasn't a functional algorithm of some kind to direct people towards content. So a lot of YouTube is fake too, right? As far as the social proof part of it and the success part of it. And I just don't really trust most of the things that are going on YouTube or really on any social media, because people will just pay to put their finger on the scale. You know what I mean? But the next thing is AI, right? AI content, which will make even the things that people are looking to consume also fake. So everything will be fake. It'll be everything you do on the internet will be just you interacting with an AI somehow. You do a search, the AI gives you the information you need. You go to the content website, it generates the book you want to read. You go to the video site, it generates the video you want to watch. It creates a fake hollow tuber for just you to interact with, a fake virtual girlfriend for you to have if you want to, right? Everything becomes so fake that nothing becomes useful. You can't trust anything. You're living in a world, an imaginary world made like just for you almost, but none of it can be trustworthy. And so how do you step around that? Well, you have to go back in time, right? You have to go back to message boards, private message boards that required you to sign up for an account and have an admin manually approve it, right? And those message boards are where all the good information still is. When I was researching this guitar here, this is a Les Paul recording model from 1971. This belongs to my neighbor, and I fixed it up for him. I was looking for information for how the hell does this thing work? And through a lot of experimentation, I really figured out how it worked. There's very little information on the internet, but the information that's there is buried in internet forums. So you go find on the Les Paul forums, boom, you're going to find people that have one of these and have figured out how to use it. This is the model that Les Paul himself used in the later decades of his career. It's very weird to try to use. Now that I've mastered it and I know how it works, I'm like, this is like one of the coolest guitars I've ever played. But you wouldn't find information on it. Even all the main information on it is incorrect. And like the YouTube videos that I saw were just basically people who didn't know how to use it, or were reviewing like the reissue that Gibson did maybe in like 2014. It's a weird guitar. But my point is, I found the information on forums. So people will type in, I want this Reddit, because on Reddit, at least you thought most of the people were real. Now it turns out, oh, Reddit's full of bots. Reddit is going to be fake just like everything else. So the older private forums where you can't post without getting an admin to let you, where the posts are really old, they're from like 2009, 2010, that's where you're going to find the real stuff, right? That's where you're going to find the humans that you are looking for. And when you sign up for those forums, you can make a new post. Hey, other people that have the similar interest as me and similar experiences, is there someone willing to tell me about this weird guitar my neighbor had and how the electronics are supposed to work, what they're actually doing on a technical level? And someone would be like, yes, I have one of those, and here's how you use it, and here's how I use it, and here's what these things do. And then you can be like, well, thanks, other human, and then you can be that human for someone else that needs information, right? That's the solution, is we have to actually make human connections, right? I have a private forum, sort of. I have a Discord server. You can join it by joining my Patreon. Even for as little as like $1 a month, you can hop on the Discord, and I'll send out invites probably after this. And I'm trying to be more active on it, but like I have like barely been at my computer the last couple of weeks, so it's been kind of hard to do that. Maybe I'll try to start using it on my phone, because I tend to have my phone with me a lot more and have lots of little downtime where I'm like, okay, I have nothing to do for a minute. I guess I'm going to read some Mervyn Peake or something, right? Like it'd be cool to do Discord. So you have to make those connections with other people that you trust. YouTube is still a good source for trusted opinions and reviews for products. That's the place where I think you're going to get the best information and the most information, and probably the most balanced information for any kind of product, whether it's a guitar or it's a piece of consumer electronics. YouTube is the place to do it. The independent sites have been buried on search results. If you know one of them, maybe that's a place to go, but it's really hard to find information without a human being that you trust and have. Basically, the proof of that person being honest has already been established beforehand. And there's a huge community that's always trying to keep people honest, whether it's a tech reviewer or it's a guitar reviewer or it's somebody talking about cars or something like that. There's a lot of social management of that in this kind of anarchic space that keeps people mostly honest and allows you to make that judgment about whether somebody's honest or not, or what you think, how honest you think that information is. For the rest of the internet, it's still quite decaying, but maybe in the future, YouTube won't be useful. I don't know. We'll have to kind of go and see. But the solution is you have to make more actual human connections. We have the opportunity to make these long distance virtual connections, but we need to be able to wall off the garden a little bit more. I think most of the great stuff on Twitter actually happens in DMs, like group chats, and not on the main site. The main site is mostly where the fisticuffs happen and the dunking and the silliness, and the real discussions are happening in group chats, at least for me. And I think that's true as well to other things. People are going into Discords to get those deeper conversations and the real information from other real people. But at a certain point, you have to wonder, like, okay, am I in a Discord with a bunch of bots? How much do I trust? And maybe we need to do more face-to-face. We need to go touch grass more. I don't know. Leave me your thoughts down below about things being fake. Be on the lookout for reviews that look fake. Be on the lookout for any service that's trying to sell you tweeting to its audience or its email list. Same thing. Someone's trying to sell you their email list. There may not be anyone on the other side of those email addresses. It may be fake. It may be turtles all the way down. So when you look at like Book Taster's Choice, Book Taster's Authors, it's turtles all the way down. It's fake bots faking fake bots. There was another, what was it called? Calumet Editions. This is a vanity press that I'll just mention real quick, where I've talked about them in other videos. They would sell you a package that would include all of this promotion in their network, with with all of these 100,000 followers or something. Now, what it is they would make an author account for you, and then they would tweet out your book, and then all of the other author accounts, which they owned and controlled, would then retweet your book. So you look at it and be like, oh, cool, my book link got 50 retweets. It's like it's 50 robots tweeting to 50 other robots, and no human saw that, and no human ever buys your book. And then it's only later, like, I paid them $5,000 to publish this book and do all this promotion, and I've sold 10 copies. And maybe the 10 copies were robots that bought it so that I could buy the reviews, right? Like no sales, no actual sales on your book. Just turtles all the way down. But another great example of what I'm talking about. And this stuff has been around for years. And the deeper thing is, like, you go back in the corporate period and you realize, oh, I was mostly fake too. But that's a whole nother topic for another day. But I'd love to have your opinions on it. King Leper is out July 24th. I promise you, I actually wrote this, okay? I labored over it. I am on the page. Please check it out, and I'll see you all next time. Have a great, great day.